Okay guys, so welcome back to the channel and a really exciting episode. It's the beginning of a new series, really. This all started a couple of years or so ago with my son, who's interested in cars and really likes BMWs, and I thought it would be fantastic to get him his first car for his 18th birthday. So that's what I've done. It's under this sheet and I want to reveal it to you. I don't know if any of you can see what it might be, and essentially the idea behind it is that we've bought it as a project car, and when he passes his test he'll never get insurance on this, so we'll be able to drive our car under our insurance for a little bit, but during that time that he's building up his no claims, then we'll be working on this as the project car. So it's really exciting. I've literally just picked it up today and I'm just amazed that it's in such good condition. So without further ado, let me unveil the car. You ready? There it is. BMW E36. 1.6 litre, which is 102 horsepower. It is the tin top version, so no sunroof. It's 4-door saloon, cloth interior, and let me show you around. I've had to do some juggling around with cars because obviously I've got quite a lot of space in the garage, but yeah, the Land Rover will go here, it's still outside, and I've had to raise the Porsche up to get the BMW underneath. So when I do start working on it in earnest, it'll obviously have to go onto the lift, and I'll have to have some space here, so I really need to get the Porsche done. That's still not done. But anyway, check it out. Isn't it so cool? It's I picked it up today with a trailer, and I can run some of that reel now. As part of the deal, I asked him to transport it over here, and he said, yeah, no worries, I've got a trailer. But and actually when it came to it and I gave him the money, he said, I haven't got anything to pull the trailer with. So I actually got my X5 and it pulled it over here, no problem. It's about a half an hour drive from the garage to my workshop. And here it is. The hilarious thing with it, which is a bit annoying, is that about 3 weeks ago, some thieves broke into their parking lot and stole the catalytic converters of 4 cars. And this was one of them. So it is absolutely insanely loud when you run it. And I did just drive it in here. But I'm just so impressed with the way the car's built, the way it's sort of withstood the test of time. You can just see, although it's very mottled and dusty and dirty, you can see that paint has got very few stone chips across the front here. I'm pretty convinced that it's original paint. Montreal blue it's called, which is a gorgeous color. Very similar, although a little bit lighter to the 911. So you can see 2 very cool blue cars, one on top of each other. And yeah, so it's got a couple of dents and things like that. And what I'll do is I'll do a full overview of the car when I have time on the weekend. That'll be the next episode. But it's just very impressive. So I can't wait to get working on this and polish up the paint, repair the broken bits, fit the parts that are missing, give the engine a service because it hasn't been done for a while. And yeah, get working on it. And the idea is, as I said before, is that it's going to be a project car for me and my son. And there's a lot to do. There's welding works to do. There's running gear works. There's bushes. There are drop link arms that need doing. The headlining's sagged. The door cards have sagged or they've come away. A huge amount of work, but it's going to be a really, really exciting project. So watch this space. Okay, so I've just come up midweek while I'm at work just to see how the battery is charging, because at the end of the last video I put this battery on trickle charge just to make sure it's charged up, and also to test it whether it's actually holding a charge. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the trickle charger off. It's on green. It took a long time to charge, about 2 days. I put it on Monday and it's now Wednesday and it's charged. I just want to check with the battery tester whether it's a good battery or not. So let's just take this off. And I guess I should mention I'm using the King Bolan battery tester, which they sent me a while back. So just going to go through the procedure and see what this battery is like. Okay, quick test. 12 volts. It is 53 ampere hours, I think that stands for. I've only got 55, so I'll have to go with it. Okay, so it's saying replacement. It's at 39%. Okay, so that's very low. I think what I'm going to do is, is I'm going to just put it back on charge for a few days and yeah, just wait, because I had the same issue with my mega expensive Varta battery for the Porsche, where it had been out of the car for 2 years, and I put it back on charge and it said also replacement. But then when I left it on charge, trickle charge, for literally about 2 weeks, I think, then the overall quality percentage of the battery rose to the point where the battery was okay. So I'm not going to trust that right away, because the battery has been sitting around in the car for about, I think, when did the MOT run out on this? In 2022, so a year and a half. So I'm going to keep charging it and see if I can save the battery. And in reality, what I really want to do, I thought I'd mention it, is I've only got one trickle charger, and the way these work, obviously, I don't know if everybody knows them, but they have a connector in them, so you can actually fix them to the terminals of the battery permanently, and it makes a trickle charge setup much easier, because all you need to do is plug that in. You can see there. And if I had one for all three of the cars, then that would make it really easy, but you know, you can't always have what you want. Okay, so my first try at trying to get some spare parts. There's a breakers in Dresden here, and when I first called them, they said they didn't have an E36. Then I called them again and they said they did. So they haven't got a catalytic converter, they've already told me that. But I'm going there now and see what they do have. So it's around here somewhere, and it's a silver one, he said. Oh, seat. Okay, so I just spent half an hour at the breakers yard and I was successful with a couple of things. I got a battery box top, a gaiter for the handbrake, the handle for the handbrake, and two of the covers for the tops of the seat belts, which was really cool. Now I have to be really careful, because this is a completely illegal way over the train tracks that saves me about a half an hour walk. So okay guys, so this is the donor car, so it's already got some new bits on and a lot missing, and basically I'm after, well, I need this seat, but this one's knackered, as you can see. The side is also shot, so what I'm hoping to do is take this seat out and replace the cushions for the driver's side. But what I've got to do first of all is I need to make sure that the fabric is the same as our car, or my car, or my son's car. So I brought a headrest along with me, and you can see, hang on, that they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this seat out, because it is in very good condition, and hope that I can swap the cushions out. Okay guys, so welcome back to the BMW. It is Friday afternoon. I took a half day today because I wanted to head to the breakers yard, because in the breakers yard, I mentioned before, they have one single E36, which is a they call them limousines over here, a saloon, four-door saloon, just like this one. And I checked some of the parts, and it's 1996, and this one's 1995, so all the parts are about the same. but there's not a huge amount left of it. So what I have done is I took our seat, I rummaged through the car and found some bits that I need, unbelievably, because I've been through this car and yeah, there's quite a bit missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it all in and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so let's move all this away. These are my tools. So first of all, I've got a whole bag of bits and bobs, and there's quite a few bits in here which are missing from this car, such as like in the spare wheel hole there's a little cap which supports the carpet. That was missing, and I actually found that in amongst the rubbish or in amongst it all in the back of that car. I also found the battery clamp which is missing off of this car, which is really cool. And a whole bunch, I got a whole bunch of like carpet screws and various bits and bobs. These were missing as well. Two of the caps on the end of the grab rails and stuff like that. So managed to get all of those sorts of things, and a whole bunch of nuts and bolts from inside the car, which are all, you know, part of the E36. So you can see here tons of stuff there, which is all relevant to this car. So even look at this, an original BMW Jubilee clip. I don't think you get those anymore. They don't have BMW stamped on them. So really cool there. I also got the, well, yes, caps for the seat belts, because they're missing on mine, or my son's, and the battery box cover. So I'm very excited about that. It does have a broken tab, but I'll be able to repair that. The entire handbrake mechanism, which is great because mine is knackered at the top. It doesn't hold at the top, but this one does. I tested it before I removed it, so I'm very pleased with that. And so I've got a selection of parts for seats here. I've got a seat back, which is in excellent condition, and there's another one there if I want it. I have the entire seat base and frame assembly for the driver's seat, which is unfortunately cracked in the plastic down here, but I will see if I can replace that with the one on the car. But most importantly, I got the seat cushions from the passenger side of the donor car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that seat out, take the fabric off, and I'm going to replace it with these, because according to the internet they are interchangeable, which is really cool, and I don't know if many people know that. So I'm going to test that out and fit it. I've got to order these new clips, because you can see this one's fine here, but actually they break off, so I need to order those clips. Okay, so I've just spent a little bit of time just dismantling this chair, just to see how it's like underneath. I wanted to see how easy it was to get that seat base off, and essentially, as I say, that's the part that's cracked just there. I guess from driver getting in and out, the plastic has got brittle over time. So I'm interested to see what that looks like on the one inside this car. So hopefully it's not broken, because what I'll do is I'll just swap it out, put that one back in there, and then put all of the upholstery, which I've put in the Land Rover now, back onto the seat, which is really cool. And you can also see some places where you can do some servicing here. You can clean these runners up here and put a little bit of grease on, maybe grease the or oil the springs here and so on, all these moving parts. Those cables seem in absolutely perfect condition still, so I'm happy with that. And put some grease in there, and it's just an interesting look at the seat base of an E36. It's very heavy, so good God. In fact, I'll be quite interested to know how much that weighs. So I've got my scales. Let's see if it actually fits on it. No, it won't. Let me just tip it up and then balance it. So you can see it's about 17 kilos. That's pretty full on. So That's why people put sport seats in, because they're a darn sight lighter than that. 17 kilos, 34 either side, then the cushions and everything else on top, you know, 36 kilos maybe. So as you can tell, I'm pretty excited about the project. I've got about 6 months before my son's birthday to get this running and driving and pretty much repaired. Obviously, as I said, anything that happens beyond his birthday we will do together, so I'm really looking forward to that as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe, it really helps the channel, and I look forward to catching up with you the next time.